Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Healing with Nicole Hartrell. And if you're new, welcome. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a retired Canadian teacher. And after I stopped teaching, I learned how to do energy healing. And since then, I've been teaching people how to meditate and giving people self-healing techniques. Um, so today, what I'd like to do is focus on how to trust your intuition when you're making decisions. That's a really tough one. It comes up very often in many of my sessions. And what I learned back in the 90s, when I read a book called Power versus Force by Dr. David Hawkins, what he did is he developed a map of consciousness, putting emotions and states of being from 0 to 1,000. And what he found was that the lowest level had shame, guilt, fear, and anger. It slowly started to rise. In the middle level, there was courage, neutrality, and willingness. The highest level had love, joy, peace, and then the highest level was the enlightenment level. He concluded after these studies that anyone who scored under 200, there was a weakening or destructive energy within them. Above 200, there was an empowering or truthful energy within them. This is why uh, the study of kinesiology or muscle testing works, because what they do in kinesiology or muscle testing, they can use it to determine the truth of statements or even with objects. Our body, in other words, our body weakens in response to falsehoods, and it strengthens in response to the truth. So higher states of consciousness like love and joy and peace are more effective and lasting than, let's say, aggression, pride, or control. If you ever go to a chiropractor, they often use muscle testing to evaluate your state of being. They can evaluate your structural imbalances, like within your bones and your joints. They can determine nutritional deficiencies or organ stress, or just generally emotional well-being. Because the muscle within you weakens if there's a dysfunction. So that's why for people who like to use a pendulum to help them with making decisions. The pendulum can be used then for divination, for intuitive guidance, or just for subconscious knowledge. It's a great tool for intuitive decision making, and it's comparable to journaling or meditation. I find that sometimes I'm so confused and I'm so what's the word, wanting guidance and making a decision that I sometimes I do turn to my pendulum. It doesn't have to be fancy. You can get a really nice fancy one on Amazon. But I have an old necklace. Here it is. Okay. So what I do, and I always try to use my pendulum after I've meditated or I've cleared myself of any negative feelings and thoughts, because then I know that the negative feelings are not going to interfere. Okay. So I will do is I would say I will start with I'll actually communicate with my angels, and I'll say, dear angels, please show me yes. And for me, when the angels show me yes, my pendulum goes back and forth in a line. Then I'll say, angels, please show me no. And it always, for me, goes in a circle. Now, for you, it may be different. You ask your angels and your guides to show you what's your yes, what's your no. Sometimes it will not show me yes or no. And that may mean that I'm not supposed to know. Okay, or it has not been determined yet because there's other factors or energies that have to behaviors that have to transpire. So um it's so in other words, this is a great way to help you make any decisions in life. Okay, so show me yes, show me no. Okay, the other advice I'd give you is that, you know, when you're trying to make a decision, the first thought that comes to your mind is usually the correct one, and that's the one the thought that comes before the human ego kicks in. Sometimes I find that using the pendulum, if I'm too emotionally attached to the results, I will not get a clear answer. I need to be really clear, calm, and neutral. And you'll notice that also when I'm holding the pendulum, I'm not moving my hand. Okay? Your hand should be absolutely still. Okay? Anyway, I hope you'll find that helpful in helping you make decisions in life. Okay? Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.